Ba-boom! Hello, y'all. It's Roll for Mischief time. Another beautiful Tuesday afternoon, and let me see if I can fix this screen a little bit here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that looks better. We got it now. Let's go ahead and get a rolling. Does anyone have any special announcements before we officially start the session?
Yes.
Go for it, Drew.
Yeah. So on top of
Let's
what happened last time,
go ahead and get a roll. And does any
I am hearing the sound of the stream, not from my end
Oh.
No.
though.
It was
Okay.
me. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Alex,
Um,
you don't have this all figured out yet, you know?
No,
but
I don't.
MGM, the people that made like Stargate and stuff, they are working with Wyvern Games to make a new Stargate RPG. I am part of the closed alpha playtesting of that. So if anyone does want to get involved with playtesting that system, I'll be doing free one-shots. Just get in touch. There's a non-disclosure agreement to agree to because like it's all in like alpha and stuff. But yeah, if you're interested in trying out the new systems that they're developing, it's 5e based, but there's a lot of new stuff that they've added. Yeah, get in touch with me.
Excellent.
I have something.
Go.
Okay. So today we have teamed up with a Discord channel called The Tavern. It's kind of it's run by Lily, just a little nerd on Instagram, but I think a few other people as well. They have quite a few admins on there. Basically, it's for playing D&D and talking about D&D. We'll get a link somewhere for it. I'll throw it up somewhere, maybe in the break. But basically, from my this is not going well already. My speech is not doing well today.
It's good. Keep rolling.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
As part of my business, Tabletop Crafter, I've provided them a giveaway, and to enter the giveaway, you need to be on the Discord for one thing, and then on certain cues that we'll give you throughout the show, you go in and you enter. I think it's there's a certain command, so it's like !! stream XP. I think you enter it in and you get entered into the giveaway, basically. So yeah, we've joined up with that today.
Sweet. Yeah, you might want to drop that into the chat with the
Yes.
little promo code that you just said.
Yes.
Well, cool.
I will.
Excellent. Any other announcements before we get rolling?
I should just give the disclaimer that I may occasionally just pop off of the stream, which I'm just going to, end my video or close my video thing. I got some personal stuff to deal with here and there, and I don't know when or what. But just a warning to everyone, if I just disappear, that's why. I will try to make sure it's not in a key moment where my character's in the middle of something.
Mm-hmm. We will know, even if Eridu is muted and invisible, he is still with us in our hearts.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Alrighty, that's it for me.
Okay. Well, in that case, this is where we would regularly play the intro video, but there is something a little special that's going on with the intro video, and it's going to play later. Don't worry. It'll be even better because it's later. You know? So, we're going to go straight into what we like to call group therapy, which is a chance to get in touch with our characters and their emotional side, get a bit of a recap of recent events, and just see how they're doing. So where we stand right now is the beginning of a new episode. Our characters have just gotten back from this whole crazy thing that Asa was doing, and somehow they found themselves back in the sanctity of Bronzewood Grove, which is Egnar's home turf, his humble abode. And now that Egnar's back there, he's completely, I was going to say falling apart, but that's like a really negative connotation. He is just melting into a pool of like wanting to rest. He's been so overwhelmed that he just kind of ignores everyone else in this way. You know, it's like, I'm back home. Don't talk to me. I'm going to get my whiskey. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to unwind. You know, he's got a lot to reflect on. And he may get involved in some conversations with people. He does have some questions, but also he has this whole feeling of like, I just got home from work and I'm going to watch my football and leave me alone. Kind of like that, except there's no football to watch. Just Eridu transforming into animals is his entertainment.
That's kind of a game, I guess.
It's entertaining, either way. So as per usual, Egner's a little grumpy, and that's how he feels. Who's next?
I'll go. Halifax, off the heels of that previous adventure, is just looking to decompress. He's thinking we've just had a few rapid onset things. We've traveled to other realms of existence and dealt with ancient armies and all this crazy stuff. So Halifax is looking forward to just settling down with everyone, collecting ourselves, and seeing where to go with this whole rebellion thing, and hoping that there are no distractions and no wayward adventures that we get swept away on within the next week.
There's no way that could happen.
No
Right.
way at all, right? So yeah, that's Halifax.
Well, I gotta talk about Eridu. Eridu's actually feeling overall, like physically, pretty good. He just had his form like split in half, and part of him was being used as like a puppet by Agrian, and part of him was being used as the strings almost. And when he came back into connection with himself, when they came through the portal and appeared here again, Eridu was one person once more, and no longer seemed to be affected by any like poison that was currently happening. Something that, as far as he knows, he was able to overcome just through the sheer might of will and connection with his own body. So he's feeling better now than he has in a few months. But also it gives him the full clarity to realize his sister is now here. Someone he hasn't seen in 150 years and presumed was trapped away or even possibly killed by his father.
That's a good family
Is that
dynamic.
my cue?
That's all. That's all. Yeah, that's your cue.
Yeah, so being the sister who thought that she'd been going on this adventure on behalf of her brother to help him recover from some sort of horrifying poison, she now is suddenly realizing that the person that she was adventuring with and didn't really have a chance to talk to, because mostly he was either a bear or a horse or something, was only half of himself. And that's weird. And also she feels kind of cheated. And also she feels, she's generally in a state of upset because she put herself into exile for a reason, which Eridu doesn't know about, and doesn't want to be around people because she's afraid that her emotions will affect everyone else against their will, and that goes against her personal ethics. So, there's a lot going on with her. There's always a lot going on with her. But right now, she is really, really focused on, she wants to talk to Eridu, figure out what happened from his point of view, and have that conversation she's been meaning to have this entire time that she's been doing this stuff. And then she's planning on just leaving, because the longer she stays here, the more concerned she is that she's going to be messing other people up. So we'll see how that goes.
I'm still waiting for that Colt. Egner is like primed. He's Colt ready mode right now. He's like primed for it. So ready.
He's ready to drink the
No Colt.
Kool-Aid.
I want some Kool-Aid, man. All I got is coffee right now, dude. Anyways,
Alright.
take it away.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess I'll cover Ellie a little bit just for the people who don't necessarily know who she is. She's not really going to be in this episode, but she'll be there at the beginning. Ellie has not really made it much of a secret that she has a pretty massive crush on Agner. And, you know, it's been a bit of a struggle the last sort of episode. A lot of other people sort of touching him and stuff. But it's fine. You know, she threw herself into the battle and it was okay. Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much it. She worried about Eridu and yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna start the game.
All right.
All right.
Carrie's
So,
strong suits talking about emotions.
I don't even know how to take that. Okay. I don't know if that's a sarcastic or compliment. Okay. Good.
However you want to take it, go for it. Just
All right.
I rolled a dice and got a number.
So, we open on our heroes standing in a clearing in Bronzewood Grove. You would know that you're not too far away from Agnes' like little home area, but you can't quite see it where you are now. You stand all together, just having watched Eridu, the two Eridus reunite. Yeah. It's late evening. The air is still and crisp. Where usually at this time you'd be able to hear some sort of festivities, or at least the voices on the wind, tonight it's silent. As the distraction happens of Eridu and Eridu reforming, if any of you are paying attention, you would notice that Ellie seems slightly distracted. There is a rustling in the trees not too far away, and she sort of leaves the group very briefly. If you were to watch, you would see an owl had swooped down and landed nearby. She takes a small scroll of paper that's tied to its leg off, reads it, and then puts it in her pocket. If you were watching, you'd see that the colour had completely drained from her face, and as she walks back over, she is shaking very slightly. She comes back over to the group and doesn't really say much. She folds her arms, and although she is stood next to Agner, she's looking sort of sheepishly down at the ground, and actually there's some distance between them where usually like she would be like right up in there. But then you are stood, all facing each other. What do you do?
As usual, Agner is completely clueless. He didn't see any owl. He didn't see Ellie, the blood draining from her face. Didn't see any of it.
Did you see that dragon that swooped down and gave us all sweet? Wonderful.
Leave me alone. I'm watching my football.
Eridu was, of course, he didn't see it. Eridu was pretty thoroughly involved in the fact that he was, you know, becoming a whole person again. He didn't see any of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, Leah is pretty dang focused on Eridu right now, so I find it unlikely that she would notice anything either. Hope Halifax is paying attention.
Halifax is paying attention. Halifax will be standing just like half a step away from the circle of people, leaning on his quarterstaff, just observing everyone, just watching. And he'll notice Ellie looking a little flush. And given that everyone else seems to be distracted with their own things,
Or blind.
or blind,
Blindly distracted.
wander over and you know, in a low tone, not to like, you know, expose her to the whole group. It was like, "You're upset." Just be like, "Is everything all right?"
I've received some unfortunate family news. It's nothing. It's nothing you need to worry about. Or to worry about now.
Ellie, with everything that we've been going through, we're practically family now. We're here to help you with anything that you need.
I know. And I really appreciate that. I think we all just need some rest. Maybe we can deal with it tomorrow. I need to think about it.
Yes, quite. Let's corral everyone into a large meal. I feel that we've deserved it after the ordeals we've faced. Aigner,
Yeah.
who does one have to strangle to get a good meal around these woods?
Oh man, I got onions and potatoes until the cows come home. Is what I got, man.
Wonderful. And since Aigner can't see when the cows come home, meal for days.
Precisely. Ellie,
Yeah.
I can't help but have overheard what was going on, and
I was quiet.
Egner's
With
got
his
super
bat-like
hearing.
hearing.
He's got bat-like hearing.
He's
And-
got Batman-like hearing with his owl ears.
And Egner,
Aigner's butt looks big in that ensemble.
that's what I was going for, Halifax. Anyway, Egner will say, Ellie, you know what I do when I'm the recipient of some bad news is I drink a little bit of whiskey and it's a little less bad. You know what? And I got some whiskey back here. Let's get some stew going on. Let's enjoy the evening. Have sit around a fire. Just relax. Have some whiskey. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure everything's fine.
Anybody who's paying attention to Eridu will realize that after having like meshed into a single form and no longer being an animal and no longer being two people, he's looking down, and in his hands he's holding two pieces of a broken staff. At the ends where the wood is splintered, there seems to be like just this faint wisping light, almost like if light were smoke, that seems to try to connect the two ends together, but that just it's like they almost touch, but then they don't quite, and almost as though this aspect of his staff is mirroring maybe how he felt when he was two pieces. But that's where his attention is currently at.
Since Leah is mostly paying attention to Eridu, she will look over and ask him, so, what's this?
Looking at the staff.
Yeah. She's gesturing to it.
He sighs and goes, "The symbol of who I thought I was becoming." And then he looks up at Leah for like the first time he's actually really looked at her in the last few days. The last few days.
I think it's been like days.
I think it's been a little over a day. And he says, "I thought you were gone."
I thought you had brought me back. Apparently it wasn't you.
That part is still very hazy. It was my body, for sure. Or at least part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But no. I would have done anything to find you, but I had no leads. I didn't even know what happened to you. It's been 150 years. Where have you been?
I'm sorry. Our father did put me into a sort of an exile on a completely different continent. But I chose to stay there for most of that time.
Why?
I don't know if you knew this, but the abilities that I got, that I had while you knew me, have gotten worse. And I find myself affecting the emotions of everyone around me, whether I want to or not. And some bad things happen because of that. And I decided the only way to keep to keep them from happening was to exile myself. And then you showed up and brought me back into it, except it wasn't you, but you were also sick and I wanted to save you. And so here I am. And now that I'm here, I just want to talk to you, but I also feel like I need to leave.
Well, don't leave before you have some whiskey and some dinner. And you know what? I'm gonna go get that taken care of. But I'll be back with some whiskey. Okay? All right. Like, look, we got a lot to deal with, so let's talk it over first. Okay? And Agner would scoot off to get the whiskey.
Smart, Agner. Very smart. Just get out of there.
We've only just found each other again. Why would you leave? Our father is on the loose. We worked hard to put him away. We sacrificed... Well, I thought I had sacrificed you to that end. You can't leave now. There are things to be done.
I'm just, Eridu, I'm just so worried about what will happen the longer I stay around other humans. You don't know what I did today. I think I broke some people. I don't think I can live with myself if I keep doing that.
Eridu kind of, he's still been holding up his staff, his arm still like in this, almost like offering gesture. Then he closes his hands around the staff and drops his arm and says, some people need to be broken. And some people need to be put back together again. And some people are just so caustic that they need to be dealt with. And that is what we have unleashed. Unfortunately, it is something that Agner unwittingly unleashed. We both know how far our father will go to achieve his vision. We can't let that affect the world again.
I wasn't very effective against him when we were, I guess, accidentally rescuing you. I didn't have any effect on him at all. I don't know what I can do.
Eridu closes his eyes for a moment, and you see a tear start at the corner, and he says, and yet I saw for the first time from him a sense of actual affection toward you.
I don't know what to do with that, but you're right that something needs to happen. Something needs to change. So I will try, but I can't guarantee I'll stay for ever. Depends entirely on how bad this gets.
Well, for the time being, we have each other again. And that is a wonderful thing.
That's true. Yeah. And also, you're not a bear
I'm not a bear.
or a horse
Well, that was fun.
or a spider.
That was not so fun. Although now I kind of see what Agner went through.
You know it. Speaking of which, he comes back and he's got a small tray and he's got several glasses and he'll walk up and just kind of blindly offer to anyone. All right, come on, everyone. It'll warm up your joints a little bit. You know, it'll help us all relax. Gods know we need it after what we've been through. You know, come on, come on.
I was
Drink, be
expecting
merry.
him to come back with like whiskey stew. He just
Oh,
made stew
no.
and poured whiskey in it.
The stew is separate. It's a separate thing.
I mean, maybe it was an accident. Maybe he was just like, "Oh, this is gonna be really good in stew." Glug, 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 glug. Anybody seen my whiskey?
Well, then Leah wouldn't be able to eat the stew either. She does not drink.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, Ellie will accept a drink. And so are you making like a fire here, or are you going back to Agnes' little homestead?
Oh,
or
he's
what's the plan?
there's a big, very comfortable fire pit area that's just like a stone's throw outside of Agner's house. So he's gonna go back up there, which is just at the top of the hill, up from where we are, I'm imagining, and yeah, he's just gonna start. As soon as everyone takes whiskey or doesn't take whiskey, he'll grumble something like, "All right, more for me," and then he'll start going back up the hill and start making the fire and start making a stew that's, going to be a simple affair. Carrots, potatoes, onions, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, or whatever. Yeah.
So you will notice that your house isn't exactly in the state that you would normally expect it to be in. From the sort of invasion that happened before, your house hasn't exactly fared well.
Oh.
It's not completely like in pieces. It's still like usable, but there are, the roof's kind of caved in at one point, and some of the walls are kind of smashed in. It's not in a great state.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it'd be enough to sleep in, and you would have some shelter if you wanted to sleep in there, kind of thing.
Well, is his food still there?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, he's just stoked about the food being there, and as he feels around and realizes what bad shape it's in, he'll be screaming obscenities from the top of the hill that everyone else will be able to hear.
Oh dear.
Grumpy. Really grumpy today.
Eridu will come to the scene of the obscenities and look at the partially ruined home and pat Agner on the shoulder and say, "Don't worry, friend. We can rebuild it. It's just a place."
Yeah, I know. It's just, I don't know, I just feel like I'll build it up and then it'll get torn back down again, This is my home, but am I really safe here? Am I safe anywhere? The ISCB has their claws everywhere. I don't even want to think about it right now. Yeah, I don't. Come on, Eridu, drink with me. Let's get this fire started.
Very well. And for one of the few times Eridu will actually drink, then he'll, just cough pretty incessantly for a while. Not used to liquor of this substance.
See? Of all the things Eridu puts in his body.
Yep. Hard alcohol is not one of them.
All
Not
right.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Halifax is definitely partaking of as many substances and conversations as he can. He is doing the rounds at the party, so to speak.
All right. Well,
I would like to say that. Oh, go on.
So, I was gonna say at this point with Eridu, he would have taken the swords that he took from the drow out of their sheaths and just stuck them in the ground somewhere, and put the two broken halves of the staff into those sheaths instead.
All right.
Yeah.
Smart.
Should make some nunchucks. Out of it.
I was going to say that Leah probably followed Eridu because she didn't know what else to do with herself right now. Probably was witness to the shouting about the house
My
and
house.
the ISC.
ISC.
And yeah, and then may have mentioned that we currently have a pet ISCB member right now. He seems to like me and
Oh.
seems to be
Oh.
willing to work with us.
Oh. Do we
Jar.
still have Joran with us?
I love that we
What
have all.
presumes?
I forgot that he was. I haven't
There-
accounted for him in this game.
There are so many different pronunciations of that character's name. It's wonderful.
Oh my gosh. No, this is
But
like.
we
this-
could. I mean, we could send. Oh, go on.
I was just gonna say this is the most classic like D&D goof ever. Is like completely
disappearing
forgetting about an
NPC.
NPC. Like it's
Yeah.
like it always happens.
Oh,
It
inevitably.
always happens. You're like, wait, they're here?
Oh,
But he's a
right.
completely compelling character. How could you ever forget him?
Oh gosh. Okay.
With
That-
the
that's the
ever-shifting
point.
name.
What are you doing with him? 'Cause
Well, at
I
this
would
point,
suggest that we send him back to the ISCB to spy for us if he's willing to work with us.
that's a really good
I-
idea.
I could compel him to do so if he was not willing.
Hard no. Leah has strong feelings about that.
Seriously, I can circumvent all consent and free will and everything. It's not a problem. I just need to do something to him.
I think so. I think we left it, if I remember correctly. We left it on. He had. Oh.
Oh, he'll be
Technical
back.
difficulties.
Oh, okay. We
Uh-oh.
had kind of left it on. He'd kind of changed his not alignment in a technical sense, but you know, that's something that he would potentially do if Layden was to ask, because you know,
Yeah,
She's
I've kind
you
of
know,
swayed
she
him.
started to cult him. Let's face it. So, you know,
Let's not call it that, okay?
I mean,
I'll
that'll be changing a lot of my writing.
I'll say at this point, Egnar's like really just not even giving a shit. Like where he was like very antagonizing against Joran and like really just didn't like him or didn't trust him at all. Now he's just had so much of it. He's so over it. He doesn't care anymore, and he's just like offering the whiskey to Joran too, and like you know, he just doesn't even give a shit anymore. It's like, okay, whatever, you're here, you know, have some whiskey, have some stew, with the rest of us, I guess, whatever.
So if that's what you're asking of him, I'm just gonna say it. Like he'll agree. He'll say, like he can try and do that, but he would prefer to stay here and drink the whiskey for now. But
Of course you can do that. We would just love to have your help.
can't remember what his voice is like whatsoever.
Just kind of gruff, you know, like, I'm Joran, I'm a big bad guy.
My morals have been compromised.
That's exactly what he says. Sits down and drinks the whiskey. Okay. He's dealt with it. That's fine.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay, so is there anything else you guys want to do specifically? I know this has dropped out, but
No, I
It
think
is-
Halifax is definitely looking to take advantage of the whole like drinking and food and stuff and unwind. But at the same time, like I think Halifax is going to get distracted by food, wine, and whiskey. But occasionally he'll remember that what he's trying to do is keep an eye on everyone and make sure that everyone's okay. So making sure that Joran, our new good and dear friend, is well situated. Checking on Aigner, make sure that he's all right. Checking with Eridu because he hasn't actually spent as much time with Eridu as he thought he had.
Yeah.
So yeah, doing the rounds, but at the same time, he's keeping in mind, but not pushing the whole Ellie thing because Ellie's just received a letter with some weird news. He knows she needs a pick me up, but doesn't know how to go about it. So he's going to go to Eridu instead.
Okay.
Do you want to do that interaction specifically, or is it just
Hi,
like
Eridu.
is it just like
I know. I was
yeah.
waiting.
Is it-
I was waiting
yeah.
on Asa to say something.
Well, I mean, he's coming and talking to Eridu. I don't know if there's anything specific they need to talk about.
Not particularly. So yeah, we'll just shoot the breeze, and I'll bring up the potential for healing nunchucks.
I suppose that is a real possibility. We'll have to see. Eridu will fiddle with some vines and toy around with the idea and see what he can do.
Yeah.
Trying to meld his druid skills with his monk skills.
Oh yeah.
Having healing nunchucks held
Healing.
together by vines. Maybe he'll like turn into a bear and pull out his own hair and then like weave rope out of it, like that.
Creative.
I think in universe though, the characters would need to have a discussion about whether or not, before experimentation, hitting someone with the nunchuck would hurt them or heal them, or both.
Or you.
I like the Final Fantasy idea where you just smack somebody with a tool that heals them, but I also have very definite plans to use this as a whacking tool. So no, it doesn't heal when you hit somebody with it.
Well, there you go.
I do have a question.
Mhm.
When we were discussing what to do with Jaren, was that Halifax being willing to completely, subsume his conscious and free will actually voiced, or is that a joke that we were making?
Oh, Halifax in character would have voiced.
He absolutely would have
That.
said that.
Yeah. A combination of dominate person, modify memory, or gas. All of the above all together. Like forcing him to do something, or he gets psychically damaged, modifying his memories so he thinks that he's agreed to it in the first place. All of those.
Yeah.
Halifax was he would have been downing whiskey and laying out all of these plans and cool things that he could have done.
You see, it works like this.
In front of Jaren?
No, I would have avoided doing it. No, you know what? I think Halifax is starting to get a bit cocky with the whiskey in him.
Yeah.
He's got the modify memory spell, so if things go south, he'll just modify Joran's memory to make him forget.
Oh my goodness. He's a bit.
Okay,
bit
well,
cocky.
Leah's gonna say, you and I need to have a conversation, but she's also going to avoid him for the rest of the evening because she is too angry to talk and is also concerned that she's going to make everyone else angry. So anytime he shows up, like, for example, if he's going to go up to Eridu, she's going to leave.
Is Leah the new On? Because On had massive
really?
issues with enchantment magic and
No. Egner did.
Egner.
Egner did and made it clear to On.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then On was like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, guys."
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was it. Yeah, he
was-
had a crisis of conscience afterwards. That was it.
I do believe that led into him actually, yes, having issues with people manipulating other people's emotions and stuff, which is where his
Obsession with Eridu came from.
His thing with Eridu came from,
Yeah.
because Eridu made the comment about him being responsible for all this stuff, and then On's like, "Oh,
Took it
how
way
is he
literal.
responsible?"
Yeah.
Went super
Took it
tinfoil hat with it. It's great.
super-
Now, we're about
Oh, that
40
means
minutes
I'm
in, and I
rehashing
wouldn't
old,
mind to have.
Mhm.
Railroad what? Who's railroading DM? Let's go.
What?
Oh, sorry. No, keep saying it.
So I'm gonna say then throughout the evening, Joran follows Leah. So bad at this. basically, after hearing Halifax say that, he's just kind of sticking very close to you.
That makes
Like this, and he makes it known to you that he intends to leave the second day breaks.
That also makes sense.
I think so. And on that, are we happy to say that you settle down, head into a long rest?
Yeah. Yeah,
Good night? Yeah.
Egner served as stew. It was pretty simple. Whether or not you liked it or complimented him on how good it is up to you guys or whatever. But
Ellie was complimenting him the whole way through.
yay!
It's just like, oh my god, this is the best thing I've ever tasted.
Eridu may
He's
have
such a good
poured
cook.
the whiskey into the stew in an attempt to make them both taste a little bit better. After a bite of that, he might have decided to just set it aside.
There's no making this better.
Okay. So you bed down. Noticeably, Ellie doesn't put herself directly beside Igna tonight. Actually, the only person that would maybe notice being Eridu being an elf, and I presume not actually sleeping, like trancing, I guess.
Yeah.
Same with Leah.
Ellie seems to sleep for a little while, and then gets up sometime in the middle of the night. If you're kind of like vaguely paying attention to what she's doing, she seems to be tinkering around with something, sort of like out of sight from the group. And then she comes back over and lays something down next to Igna. It seems to be something folded up. You can't really see from where you are. She's sort of like crack an eye open, have a look. And she turns to leave. At this point, as she puts something down, the thing down next to Igna, and turns away from him, this movement and the noise wakes Igna. And you see her starting to leave the camp, essentially.
Well, I don't see her, but I
Well,
have
you know,
other ways of
You
sensing
hear her
that
and
it's her.
smell her.
There's an instant recognition because she was so close. You know, I can smell, can hear that her footsteps sound different than other people's footsteps and everything, and he feels the weight of the thing next to him on the bed, and he just hoarsely says, "Ellie, what?" And then he moves to get up. What's going on?
I can honestly just go back to sleep.
Well, I can't now. I mean, I'm a really light sleeper in the first place, and I don't know, when I get up in the middle of the night, I'm just kind of up. But you know, that's beside the point. Where are you going?
I have to go and deal with some business. I kind of need to go and do it on my own, but I'll be back in a few days.
He reaches down and he picks up the thing that she put down and says, "What is this? And then he opens it and feels it and tries to figure out what it is.
Okay, so you feel it's a necklace with something attached to it that's kind of feels sort of mechanical feeling to it. And there is also something you've only seen a couple of times her having used, but it's essentially her Walkman. Or her iPod, I don't know. Walkman. It's like a box with two wires that you've seen her put in her ears before. Yeah, that's all it is. Oh, and another little sort of gadget that feels like it has a button on it, and that if you pressed it would do something. Which says, I don't know how long I'm going to be gone for. I made something that will help keep you safe while I'm gone.
Okay. I'm not exactly sure how this can do that, but I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. You need to attune to it.
Uh-huh.
And the the other thing, that's my music player. Um,
Oh,
I, I think what's on it might help you if you end up feeling, scared or confused or just a little homesick.
hmm. Ellie, this is incredibly sweet of you. I really do appreciate it. Um, what? But I don't know. I'm just a little confused. This makes me think that this is some kind of goodbye gift. Are you are you sure you're gonna come back?
Yeah, definitely. It won't take me a couple of days max, and it's not dangerous. It's just something I need to do on my own.
I understand. I respect that. I'm just, you know me, I'm very concerned about the safety of my friends and the people that I really dearly care about.
I know. It just don't worry. Just try and stay out of trouble.
You know me. It's not like I get poisoned every other, day or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Well, that's
you know.
that's why I made you the thing.
Oh, okay, great.
Just
Oh.
wear that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you should be okay.
All right. Then I will be. And I'll see you soon.
Yes. She pauses at the. Now's not the time for jokes.
Oh.
And then she.
I don't even realize I say that shit.
She just very quietly. She walks back over to him. She hadn't got too far away from him. Puts her hand on his shoulder and sort of squeezes gently, and then without saying anything, walks away and out of the camp.
Hmm. Well, Egner does attempt to go back to sleep, and he lies down and he takes the little music player. So there's like there's a necklace, and then the music
Yeah.
player is separate.
Yeah.
So he takes the two of those, just one in each hand, and he just kind of like feels them, feels the weight of them, runs his fingers over them, and tries to, imagine in his mind's eye exactly what these things would look like. And he eventually drifts off into this weird limbo of kind of being awake and kind of being asleep. And
So in this
Yeah.
time, you have attuned to the necklace. You now have a periapt of wound closure, if that's how you say it. I don't know if that's what I'm calling it.
a magical item.
Yep. Do you wanna look it up yourself? Or do you
Yeah,
wanna know
I'll look it
know
up.
what it is? It is really cool.
Hell yeah.
It's a new Ellie item that you can make.
Nice.
So
I
You
just
sleep.
have a quick question. Oh,
Yep.
go on.
no, go.
Is it actually this might be for Kyle? Are there like private rooms or like somewhere private that Leah can go for the night?
Um, Not exactly in Agner's house. It's a really shabbily built kind. I mean, he's okay at building things. But it's more of like just a simple structure that's all one large-ish kind of room, But there
Mhm.
are little like dirt cells that were molded out of earth, like because we had the druids around that were able of doing like really cool earth shaping type stuff. So since we had a bunch of them around, they had made several. We called them digloos, I think was the term.
Yeah.
Digloos, dirt igloos. So yeah, there's several of these kind of earthen structures scattered around Agner's house in different little pockets, far and closer and whatnot. So there are other like isolated spots to be.
Okay, yeah. So she probably would have asked to be directed to one of those, because while she does do the trance for 4 hours, she spends the other 4 hours doing her personal ritual, and so it's a it's a weird one, but hopefully no one will see it or notice or pay attention to it. So
In one of the digloos, I'm sure you definitely have the privacy to try and. Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be any druids or anyone else around. It's literally just you guys in this place. It's completely deserted.
okay, cool. Then yeah, Leah's gone off to one of those places, a digloo.
So,
That's not how we left things, right?
Well, how we left things was running away from, well, kind of, I mean, it had just gotten sacked by the ISCB, is kind of how we left
Yeah.
things.
So like, the druids would have come back, right?
Oh, wait, no, didn't they?
No.
They went to.
They all disputed.
Dude, they went
Yeah,
to
they
the
all-
island.
Hmm.
That's where they went.
This place has been abandoned since then.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
It was decided that since the ISCB had already shown up there to capture people, that it wouldn't be safe to keep people there.
okay. So you wake up early morning. If everyone's ready to wake up, get up, get
Yeah.
together, back around where you were all drinking last night.
Mm-hmm. Egner's got kind of a headache, and he immediately starts making his pot of cowboy coffee. He's like outside in the early morning sun. He's like he really has when he's maybe I didn't mention something like this before, but I think it's a really funny image. When he's back in his home in Bronzewood Grove, like he like kind of has no shame. Like he'll get up in the morning and just be in his like skivvies more or less and like making a fire outside and like, you know, putting the pot on and everything and grumbling and walking around. And, you know, also like the fact that he's blind probably makes it so that he cares less about that kind of thing too. So
Ellie's missing out.
I know, I was gonna say Ellie's missing everything right now.
Ellie's missing everything. So then he'll go back in and maybe he'll notice that Eridu is like gotten out of his trance and Eridu is doing his like morning stretches or little yoga-esque poses or something. And he'll just gruffly say while he's drinking his coffee, by the way, Ellie is gonna be gone for a few days. Yeah, she just a little left in the middle of the night. It was kind of weird, to be honest.
Eridu was awake and kind of listening to their whole interaction throughout the night, so he's not actually surprised by this, but he just kind of nods and says, well, some of us have our own things to deal with.
That's true. I just hope she's safe. You know. I mean, she's capable, entirely capable of taking care of herself and all that. I'm not that worried, but I don't know. These are hard times, and especially when we've got all sorts of enemies everywhere.
This sort of like around the breakfast table sort of thing, or is this you two aside somewhere?
No, it's well.
I
I
think
mean,
it's a breakfast table kind of thing.
breakfast table. There's no real table in here, but it's more like everyone standing around and wondering why Egner's still in his underwear, kind of drinking coffee and eating like some bacon or something.
I'm going to be nursing a hangover and downing that coffee too. Perhaps we should go and render aid. Sending Ellie off on her own to deal with some personal matter. We've just brought Eridu's long-lost sister home and dealt with his father. If any group is equipped to deal with family matters, it's us.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to offer any actual comfort like that. And, for that matter, I don't even know where she went, you know? I don't think any of us really know where she went. I mean, look, what we need to focus on right now is just relaxing, regrouping. We got to talk about the things that have changed, and we got to talk about what's going on in Twin Harbor. And I mean, there's a lot of things that we got to talk about, and we got to think about. And so maybe let's just lay low. Let's just plan some things. I mean, I could go for a little more stew, to be honest. And you know, we'll just wait for her to come back.
As Agnes says this.
Oh, can I just really quick
Yeah.
before you? I just wanted to say that at this point, probably Leah is also in the mix. She is very tidily dressed and looks completely awake, and also has, I guess, Eridu at least would notice one of her arms is bandaged. That's it. Continue.
Interesting.
As in, it was not bandaged yesterday, and now it is.
Correct. It's new.
Interesting.
Okay.
So, as Agnes says, should relax, regroup, think about things. Are you in the cabin? I've got it written.
Yeah, we're in the cabin.
Okay. A flash of light fills the room, and then one of the walls tears open as if someone's pulling a knife down through it. And stumbling out of this portal is Finnegan. Bada bing, bada boom! I'm here, your favorite wizard. You get that, Kyle? Go. You got it. You got it. Illivax boy, I've got a treat for you. I guess you guys can go too. Yep. Hope you got some good spells prepared. Or have I taught you nothing? Right. Where am I?
A little early for this.
Well, it's 12 o'clock somewhere. Agna, looking good. Not that you can tell, eh? Oh, I'm so funny. Eridu, what's with the long face? Come on. Ready for an adventure, right? Right?
It is not my fault that my facial features are more elongated than yours. It's an elven trait.
Enough jabbering, enough talking. You guys you're always wasting time when you talk. Look, there's something I need you to take a look at. Something under my lab. I need you to go down there. I think it could hold some answers to what's going on at the minute. Plus, I think I calculated the timing, just right this time. Every other time, well, yeah. Sometimes science is more of an art than a science. A lot of people don't get that. But anyway, those other times, they don't matter. This one is the best shot. I've calculated it at a 66.81% success rate. But wait, who's that? Points at Laden.
Wait, who's that? And then Egner points at Finnegan.
Finnegan.
Yeah.
You know me, come on. Well, I know a different Agna. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I'm confused.
I'm his sister. Points to Eridu.
Recent acquaintance, Laden. She's powerful. Eridu is back. Eridu was gone for a bit.
I know that, Hillivax. Come on, Hillivax. I think I'm watching you all the time. I'm just a test. I know. It's Laden. I know that. I mean, I could tell it's another Samaria. I can tell you from a mile off. You've got a smell about you. You know that. I mean, come on, back me up. But, you Sumerians, you got to set it's a mix of bad luck and impending doom, right? Right?
It's the same long face.
Well, all right. Well, let me just. I'm just gonna have to just recalculate this. 1 second. Just he turns around and he seems to be fiddling with something behind, like away from where you can see. Just like carry the one, cross that one off, and that one. Well, okay. He spins back around again. I'm coming up with 32.33, repeating, of course, percentage of survival, but fine. It's better than the last one, I suppose. Anyway, there's something under my lab. I haven't explored it. I figured, what better way for those idiots to test themselves? Plus, well, I got down to the 3rd layer, and well, there's something in there that's after me. I mean, don't get me wrong, a whole galaxy of idiots after me, but this thing, fuck, it's a time monster, Halifax, a kind of time guardian. I might have played around in places I wasn't meant to play around. They call it a Dahaka, big thing, horns. Well, I need you to take care of it for me. Just a little detour on your trip down there. Win-win, right?
You've not explored your lab.
Well, it's under my lab. There's my lab, and then there's below my lab. It's 2 layers down. Like there's my lab, and then there's another layer, and then there's this thing there. Like I don't know. I think there's something further down there. Like so I found some ancient ASMR text on one of the doors, and I opened the door thinking, oh, like yeah, it could be useful. It could be some science stuff down here. It could be like some interesting creatures trapped down here. Get down there, and I'm chased through corridors by this big pod thing. The hacker. Yeah. So I came to get you guys because you guys are great at this.
If this
He
is
looks from side to
indeed
side.
some sort of time guardian, and Finnegan has been messing about with these forces, as we've well learned from recent events, association is as good as familial guilt. We should help.
I'm so confused with what was said.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what is going on, but if there's anything I do know, it's that Halifax will be able to take care of it.
Look, don't get me wrong. It's not going to be a walk in the park. Like, it's going to be hard. It's going to test you. I've sent many Halifaxes and not as many Eridu's and even less Agners. And well, I mean, you're the first Leodin that's gone there, so that'll be interesting, right? I mean, well, none of them got that far, but this is the time. This is the right version, I think.
Egner's like scratching his head, and he puts his hand up as if he's going to like try and respond to the idea of multiple Egners and the like, and then he just kind of brushes it off and says, "Okay, let me get some pants on at least. God damn it."
Yeah. Put some pants on, but quick.
Okay, and then he starts to get all of his gear on and all that type stuff.
So we are to go down below your lab and deal with your little science project gone wrong.
Well, it's not my science project. I had nothing to do with the thing. I was going through a dimension that maybe this time I shouldn't have probably gone through. And I changed one too many things, and well, now it's here. It's in this one, so it benefits everyone to get rid of it because we don't want it here.
What happens if we just say no?
Oh, I mean, you could say no, but what are the audience gonna watch then? What are we gonna have, like 6 more sessions? There's people on Twitch here. They're watching us. Like, come on, we gotta put on a show. Like. Just don't worry about it, Eridu. Like,
Which?
it's fine. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's from a different place. Just, it's fine. Just, you don't see through the Matrix. I've seen through the Matrix. Just don't worry about it. Just it's fine. This voice.
Eridu, I think that perhaps we have a friend here who has partaken in one too many substances. But
I could tell you substances. You don't even know substances, Halifax. So I tell you what, you go through this, and I'll get you substances. Some you couldn't even imagine. Just you need to do this favor for me. It's just one thing, Halifax. Just really need you to do it.
I say we do it, Eridu. It seems to be the only way to get him out of Aignar's front room, at any rate.
Oh, I'm staying. I'm staying in Agnes' room. I'm staying here. You guys are gonna go.
Oh.
But I've got something that can help. Like, don't just, I'm not gonna come with you, but I can be there in spirit, right?
Right.
I borrowed something from your girlfriend, Agna, and he starts digging through a bag.
What? Wait, who
She-
now? What now? Wait, what?
Wait.
Uh,
He pulls out a notebook and then flicks through it, and it seems to have like endless pages. And then snaps it shut. Oh, okay. I mean that one, the one where you're even more of an idiot. Well, you've met her. You've met Elena, right? Right? You've met her.
Oh, I mean, yes. Look. I'm sorry. I just haven't understood about most of anything that you've said since you've walked through the door. I'm just confused.
Agna, look, just don't worry about it. Like, but honestly, like, she's a real smart one. Believe me.
I mean, I know that. Yeah.
Well, look, don't worry. Like, I don't you worrying. Like, I'm a incredibly intelligent, incredibly attractive guy. But look, she comes back while you're gone. You don't gotta worry about me trying to fool around with her or anything. She almost always turns me down anyway. So look, Agna, don't worry about me getting with her or anything. Like, she's all yours, Agna. She's all for you.
Oh, okay. I can't argue with that, I suppose.
Anyway, look, a different one. She made this, and I borrowed it. And he pulls out 2 sending stones, and he tosses one over to you. Look, it might not work in some areas, but if it does, I'll do what I can to help.
Tosses it to Egner.
In the general direction of you guys.
Does Agner catch it? He just like
I mean,
it just
He
hits
doesn't-
him in the chest.
He
He's
doesn't.
like,
Yeah,
"What?"
it probably just hits him in the chest or the shoulder or something, and he goes, "But what? Where? What?
This guy's just throwing stones at me now.
Yeah."
look, anyway, we've been talking enough. Like, you can see what did I tell you? You guys never stop talking. So talk. We never get to anything. How are we ever gonna get into the dungeon? Like, come on. I mean, my lab.
I thought you were staying here.
I am staying here. I mean, us, the proverbial sorry, bud.
I'm gonna like just kind of turn to Halifax and go. Is it just me, or has he done more talking than any of us since he showed up? All right.
Oh.
If-
At this point, I'm going to be gathering up my book and staff and getting ready to go.
He claps his hands together and pulls out a device. You can't really tell what it does or see what it does. Like, if you looked at it, you probably wouldn't have a clue of how it would work. Seems to press a button, and another portal opens up in the wall, and it kind of shines a glowing green light. And around the top and the bottom, in like big, like carnival-style lights, it says Finnegan's Spimparium. Right. Here we go. That's right. It's time for Finnegan's Spimparium. Kyle, it's time to roll his fucking credits.
All right.
Hey, it's me, your old buddy, old pal, Finnegan Nodwick. And I'm not even drunk this time. I mean, just a little bit. Oh, shit. God damn it. Niplug, didn't I tell you not to touch this thing? Alright, I just need to... Alright, let's get over here and just do a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and, cross this, and then, alright, let's try this. Alright, let's try that again. Almost there. One more time. Yeah! I did it! I fix it, because I'm a fucking wizard. Pretty much the best wizard ever in the history of wizards. There's Carrie, DMing for the first time. I hope she doesn't mess it up. Yeah, that'd be a shame. And there's Egner. Is he ever gonna realize that Ellie actually likes him? What a doofus. Oh my god. Oh, and there's Halifax. I remember I told him one time that I'm taking shits more magical than him. And who could forget about Derrido? I mean, I almost did. For a while there. Yeah, that's just me. And Leaden. Fuck it. Whatever. It's Finnegan's Finporium, episode 12. Yeah, I mean, these guys are screwed, right? They're seriously screwed.
Yeah.
All good.
I love that thing. Real good work there. Good work there, Carl. Yeah, real fucking good. Yeah, Blue Peter Badge and the Postman. Real catchy tune. Right. Come on, you guys. Get in the poll.
Okay. I still have no idea what just happened, but I feel like I heard something weird.
Did we all just black out for a minute?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
I suddenly have this feeling like I have to go through this portal. Like I'm so curious. I just.
Look,
It's almost as though I have no choice, as though I'm on a track that is leading me in a direction.
Look, all I ask
No matter how much I want.
Is that someone who can see goes first, and I'll be right behind. Okay. All right.
Eridu will pull out one broken half of his staff and step through the portal. If he needs to, he'll hold Agner's hand. Elliot is not here to do it, so he might as well.
Okay.
Right. Halifax is going to go through the portal.
I mean, I'm gonna take it later and it's gone through. It's like, nope.
I mean,
If you don't go through, he will push you through.
Leah's like,
Finnegan.
oh no, no, and then Eridu pulls her in.
I am not going to leave you here with this man. There is no telling what will happen. He is not stable.
There.
As you step through, you and the portal starts to close, you hear Finnegan saying, fucking Eridu, accusing me of railroading, he'll see. And then it closes around.
He'll see that he is so right. No, it should be stated that I'm not accusing Carrie of railroading. I'm accusing Finnegan of railroading.
Yes, this is going to be one of those fantastic break the fourth wall the whole way, like this.
No,
You just punch the fourth wall so hard that it falls apart. Like
Not
that.
from Eridu. It's all emotional breakdowns and extremely serious emo stuff happening with him for the rest of the episode. Promise.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
super serious. Leah's not going to help with that at all. She's just going to be extra serious together. It'll be like just Sumaria corner of seriousness.
Right?
Really dark, obnoxious.
It's gonna get some real Games of Thrones. Wait, no, not with the two of them.
Oh.
moving on.
Oh. We stepped
You
through the
find
portal.
yourself, you find yourself in a large cabin. The walls are made from an opalescent rock with colours that shift in a pattern that almost resembles throbbing. Obviously, Agnes doesn't see this, but you get there is sort of like a hum to the air. It feels like this space is thick with magic. It's huge. It's 100 foot up above your heads, and it's 100 foot across from where you are. A few moments later, as you stand and take in the surroundings, there's a tearing sound. Oh, actually, and an red-orange light pulls a portal open like it's unzipping a zip. A brief glimpse through shows fountains of fire and blackened skies, and then the portal snaps closed. You can sort of tell that there is a way out at the other end, like the lighting changes. It seems to go down at the other side of the cabin. What do you do?
So, first of all, just a quick out of character moment.
Mhm.
I'm maybe Asa and Drew can help me figure this out in my mind, but has Agner ever really met Finnegan at all? Because I don't think so. Because like I think I had Finnegan in the story when Agner was away for whatever reason, like he was captured or whatever.
There's
You had
one
Finnegan
time
give
that-
us the bombs.
Yeah, when Asa was role playing though, because I remember Asa doing Finnegan.
Yeah, I've done Finnegan. So he has appeared, and he has met Agner. It was in not this episode, not the last episode I did, but the one before that.
It was in the dream one, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. Well, Agner,
So, you-
that would have been really fuzzy for him anyway, because he was it's still in the
Mhm.
crazy like mental state. So as soon as they get in there and they're experiencing all this like crazy portal stuff, Agner would like hold on to other people, and as soon as he feels like everything calmed down for a second and there's some silence, he'll just breathe this heavy sigh. Okay, that old guy that we were just talking to, I'm freaked out because I thought he was just a figment of my imagination.
No.
Is
he
he
helped
is he
us
real?
save you. Yeah, he was a big part in rescuing you. He helped us get into the ISCB and bring you free in the first place.
It's all
As-
really fuzzy.
As Agner gets to the end of his first sentence, you feel almost that magic intensity around you charge, and beside Agner appears, what would it be? Like, probably a sword. You see like an ethereal looking sword appear beside him. And you feel, well, Agner doesn't, but everyone else does. But Agner, you feel like you have a connection to something that wasn't there before, that you feel like you would have control of. And as Eridir replies, let's see, tip. I'm scrolling now. As Eridir replies, actually, no, nothing. You don't notice anything.
Okay. So I get this like weird kind of sense that there's something like close to me that I could like grab onto or whatever.
You reach your hand out, and you don't really feel anything. You feel like there's something there, like you can feel it. It's like the air changes around it, but it's not something solid that you could hold.
This place is very strange. I really can't put my finger on it. But I just don't understand where we are or what is going on with this place. It's weird.
Yes, I know what you mean. I say we get through this as quickly as possible.
As you're talking, another portal tears open, and a room, and through it, immediately, water starts pouring through this portal. And then a few moments later, it closes again, and the water just puddles around where it was.
From the description of the room before, are there any entrances and exits that seem to be non-portal related to this cabin? Because you were saying it's about 100 feet across.
There's nothing behind you, but you can see it start to slope down at the bottom in a way that would imply stairs. So it's like a sharp cut off at the other end. Sorry, I say the bottom. At the other end of the cabin.
Well, I suppose the portal that Finnegan opened dropped us here. These could just be simply other portals from other people. I don't think we could find too much at this end. Perhaps we should take those stairs down, see if we can find this uh, Harkonnen? No, that's the fat dude from Dune.
That's true.
The hacker.
Hacker, there we go.
The
Hacker.
hacker. The hacker.
Oh,
It-
the
it is.
hacker.
It's from something as well. I don't
Oh.
know
Hacker.
if anyone can tell me where it's from.
Was
like,
that Prince of
brownie
Persia?
points? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
It's gonna be one of them games.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So keep a lookout for all the stuff from other pieces of media. It'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Including Finnegan, who's a thinly veiled Homer Simpson reference.
Yep, obviously.
Yep.
Okay. What do you do?
Yeah, head towards the stairs.
Yep.
That's what I'm doing.
So moving.
Yep, I'm gonna cast light on the end of my quarterstaff and head on down.
Oh, right. What are you doing to me? Right. Hang on. Okay. So as you cast light, interestingly, it's almost as actually. Do you already have dark vision? Because if you already have dark vision, you won't notice a difference.
I do have dark vision.
Okay, you notice no difference.
The only person who doesn't have dark vision is blind.
There we go.
is true.
And as you start to move,
That is true.
Who are you casting light for?
To look cool.
I mean, I
Oh,
guess it makes sense because it's still only 60 feet and it's still only black and white and all that. But
Exactly. With everything going on so far, we are definitely in a more sort of Doctor Strange, Thor, Ragnarok territory. We want this in Technicolor.
Mm-hmm.
as you start to, did I cast it? As you start to move, you feel that you are suddenly more vulnerable to things. That if something were to come at you, you might be less likely to deflect it. You have a -1 penalty to your AC for an indeterminate an amount of time. I'm not telling you.
seeing that Halifax feels a bit more vulnerable, Eridu will come up and put a cloak over him and say, "There, that should help you with the elements."
Okay.
I just wanted to get rolled on the table. That's all.
Okay. A loud boom as you put this cloak around Halifax seems to emanate from you, and everyone within 15 feet of you, which I'm presuming is all of you, need to roll a Constitution saving throw.
A Constitution saving throw.
That's everyone but me.
I'm decent at those.
Yeah.
Man.
Ooh, I got 24.
Alright.
Big tough guy, Egner. Big tough guy.
I got 22.
Okay.
For our wedding anniversary, my wife got me these copper dice because it's our copper wedding anniversary.
Oh, badass.
That's awesome.
My first time rolling this one for the stream.
That's so
Yeah.
sweet, man. Aw.
Leia? What?
I just forgot my number because that was so cute. Um,
Quick,
Hang on.
pick up a good one.
am I rolling? Which modifier am I applying to this? I missed the first part of that.
Constitution.
Yeah, Constitution
Thanks.
saving throw.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is very bad.
Mm.
Oh wait, no, it's not. That's a 14, not a 4. It's a 15, not a 5.
There you go.
Okay.
Really, I need
okay.
new dice.
So you three take 5 damage, and your ears are ringing, and you feel like, that potentially could have completely ruined your hearing.
Oh, man. Oh, that would have screwed Egner so hard. Are you kidding me? If
and
Egner
as-
went deaf? Oh, man. That's the worst thing that could happen to him.
I'm
As
sorry,
this-
I appear to be having trouble controlling the volume of my voice.
Ah!
As this happened, another portal opens. Does anyone turn to look at this portal? Are people looking into these portals or not?
I'm, because we've had a couple of portals open already, I'm just gonna assume it's like waste disposal from different magical dimensions or something weird. Like Finnegan would probably do a deal with someone to like take care of the disposal in exchange for drugs or something.
If you give me some schmeckles, I'll let you dump all your toxic waste into this pocket dimension I have.
Right?
I mean,
Little does he know, like this is the Underdark, and that's why all the Drow hate it. He's dumping his trash there.
Yeah.
so is anyone?
I'll
having a
look.
at this portal?
Egnar's not looking, but Eridu's looking. And
Does this
and the
appear?
dog.
Agnes should do the looking.
Good
Um,
luck with that.
So the portal opens, and looking into it, you see one large, pulsing, bright yellow-blue light, and you feel your head tilt back, and you're now incapacitated. Everybody else, apart from Agnes, sees you start to float off of the ground.
I feel like
and-
I'd be falling, going, Halifax, I think I found your spot.
Okay, well, 1 second.
Oh, I guess am I passed out or just like? I assumed I had passed out.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this effect doesn't really work. So eventually, you guys see him floating there.
You should
Just
look into that. I'm gonna go
floating.
up-
Like a character from It, just
Floating?
Bingo. Character from it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go over with my quarterstaff and just sort of like hook it over him and like drag him down to the ground if I can.
Okay. As you do this, the portal does close and he drops to the floor. But when you come around, Erida, you feel yourself like retreating into your mind, and you feel like you're filled with like a state of complete paranoia. But I also need to find this.
I'm already feeling that.
But Halifax suddenly feels. I mean, I feel like you probably already have this anyway. Suddenly more intelligent. If you don't already have it, which I think you might do, but you get proficiency on all intelligence checks.
Oh, yeah. I certainly don't have a proficiency in all intelligence checks currently,
Ooh.
so that's really cool.
Big smart guy. All
Yeah.
right. So at this point, with all the portals opening and all the weird vibes and everything, Egner just looks at everyone and says, "Let's get the hell out of here. Now."
I'm gonna look at Agner and then look at Halifax and say, no. There's portals, and I think that's a trash heap, and I don't know, but you have an idea, and it's probably the wrong one. We should stay put. It's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Eridu,
But that's a bad idea too.
what's
staying
wrong
put,
with you,
These things
Eridu?
happen, and then Eridu just starts to like shift and change as though he's not sure what even his normal form is, and he starts to like flick through all these different animal forms, and then he turns into a bird and starts
Oh,
to
no.
fly, just somewhere.
Let's try and catch him.
I mean, you can. You want to try and
Yeah.
catch him?
Come back.
As you leap to catch him,
Yeah, what should
roll a dex check.
Everyone?
Well, she's trying to catch him, right?
Oh,
Is everyone trying
okay.
to catch him? Oh.
I mean, that's gonna create some problems.
Not Egner.
clonk? 13.
I mean, do you roll against that? I don't know. Do you wanna roll
I would
Right,
roll
sorry.
my own dex check to fly away. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah,
Opposing
go for it.
Like an opposing grapple check?
Sure.
All right. But opposing grapple with Dex v Dex instead of Strength v Strength. So that would be a 14.
Okay, so
Damn.
doesn't work.
Just barely, like, through the fingertips.
However, you all notice as Leia's eyes start to glow red.
That seems bad.
Who else is making a run for it? Who else is?
I think Agner at this point is going to try and just book it in the direction of wherever, because he's getting so freaked out and he doesn't know if everyone's behind him, but he wants to get out of this like area of crazy instability.
Do you want to roll me a d6?
A d6 I shall roll, and I shall get a 5.
Okay, you grow 5 inches.
Growth spurt. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Who else is going?
I want out of there, but I'm also trying to catch Eridu, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to have a look around, see that everyone's starting to freak out, and I am going to try and cast. I'm going to cast Charm Person on everybody.
Okay.
Huh.
See if I can, like, it gives me advantage on charisma checks. See if I can convince everyone to just stay in one place.
Oh, okay.
Stop running about everywhere.
Well, shall we call out the break and we'll find out after the break if Halifax manages to convince everyone?
Harm anyone?
Yeah, good luck with that. All right, cool. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's take our break. Thanks so much for joining us. If you are a new viewer, we really appreciate you tuning in with the Roll for Mischief crew. As I like to say, your favorite nerds. Please join us in about 10 to 15 minutes, and we'll continue Finnegan's Finporium, episode 12. We'll be right back.
See y'all soon.